The Muslim terroristic group ISIS is a growing concern for people worldwide. But one of the problems with it is that most of the people over here on the western side of the world that can make a major difference on it are quite oblivious to the fact. I was one of those people originally until I started doing research on it, and now I'm going to share my findings with you. So the name ISIS is an acronym for Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. This title is kind of half accurate, as they are an Islamic state, or at least kind of coming to be one, but they're not so much Islamic. They govern and tax their conquered areas, and they make millions a day off of the revenue of those local economies. For example, they're in Syria, so they probably make millions off of oil. But they're actually a bit too extremist for some Islamic peoples, which is interesting. The second half of it is spot on, though. In Iraq and Syria, that's where they are. There's always something going on there, and ISIS is what's happening now. Where did all this madness come from? Well, originally, ISIS was a branch of Al-Qaeda, and then Al-Qaeda was weakened by U.S. and Iraqi Sunni forces in culmination, and then Al-Qaeda was relocated into Syria. After that, they changed their name to reflect the religious ambitions that they had, basically becoming the religious government of the land, and that's where they are today. Though they were originally part of Al-Qaeda, ISIS is now its own separate entity. They've branched off due to different beliefs. Osama bin Laden's replacement had a public falling out with the group even, so ISIS is now a challenger to Al-Qaeda for the allegiance of Muslim extremists. Currently, they're working their way down in control from Syria to Iraq, and they're having moderately good success with this, mainly because of the way that they select areas to control. Most of the Iraqi military forces in uncontrolled areas are from tribes that tolerate or even support ISIS, so they basically lend a hand to the conquering of those opposed. And then once they conquer those opposing areas, they oppress minorities. So what's coming of them? Right now, they're numbered at about 30,000 militant heads, and what's horrifying is that there's a quickly growing Western division, even many Westerners who are flying halfway across the world to fight for ISIS, some of them even American. Currently, they're not targeting America, but the status of that could change due to recent intervention on America's part. Their brutality is on a constant increase, with scenes of horror like James Foley's execution arising on a more and more regular basis. The situation over there is not good. It's gradually getting worse. There's no simple answer to all of it. So we're presently trying to work it out, the American government and Iraqi government. All we can do is hope and pray at this point. And that's what I've come to know about ISIS. Uh, uh, and that's basically what they're doing. I'm so,